Have you ever noticed how the same woman who once rejected you suddenly starts creeping back into your life? She might have acted like you didn't exist, and now she's liking your posts, sliding into your DMs, or sending that classic "Hey stranger" text. What changed? Here's the truth. Her actions aren't random. They're rooted in psychology and the modern dating landscape. In this video, we'll uncover the real reasons why she's coming back, and more importantly, how you should handle it like a high-value man. Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn will completely change the way you see rejection and relationships. Section 1. Regret. She realizes she made a mistake. Regret is one of the most powerful emotions, and for the modern woman, it often sneaks up on her when she least expects it. When she first rejected you, she might have been caught up in a whirlwind of options. Maybe she was flirting with someone who seemed more exciting or aligned with her ideal fantasy. Perhaps the guy with the flashy lifestyle, the confident charm, or the one who gave her the attention she craved at the time. But here's what happens. Those options rarely live up to the hype. Over time, she discovers that the man she thought was perfect on paper often lacks depth. He might be unreliable, emotionally unavailable, or simply not as interesting as she initially thought. And then it happens. She starts comparing him to you. She remembers the way you treated her, the conversations you had, and how you made her feel valued and safe. This realization doesn't hit all at once. It's often gradual, triggered by quiet moments like scrolling through old messages, seeing a picture of you pop up on her timeline, or even noticing how you've been thriving without her. Regret begins to take root as she realizes she let go of something rare and genuine in a world where authenticity is increasingly rare. This regret can be overwhelming. The key thing to understand is that her regret isn't just about you. It's about her too. It's about her recognizing that she made a choice based on fleeting emotions or societal pressures, and now she's questioning her own judgment. The more you've grown, achieved, and proven your worth in her absence, the stronger her regret becomes. It's not just that she wants you back. It's that she wishes she had seen your value sooner. Section 2. The fear of missing out, FOMO. FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is a psychological trigger that affects almost everyone, but for modern women, it's amplified in the world of dating. When she rejected you, she likely felt confident in her decision, thinking she had plenty of time to find someone else, or assuming you'd always be there waiting. But as time passes, something changes. She starts to see what she might be losing. This fear is often sparked by social proof. Let's say you've been posting about your achievements, sharing moments of joy, or simply looking happy and confident. Maybe other women are commenting on your posts, or showing interest in you, or simply being part of your social circle. These subtle signals create a narrative in her mind. What if I missed out on someone amazing? Social proof is powerful because it creates a competitive instinct. The modern woman doesn't want to feel like she's losing out to someone else, especially when it comes to a man who is thriving. If she sees that other women value you, it forces her to reevaluate her own feelings. Suddenly, she's not just thinking about you. She's thinking about how she might lose you forever. This fear isn't always logical, but it's deeply emotional. It's the same reason people feel compelled to buy limited edition items or attend events, just because everyone else is doing it. In the dating world, FOMO can drive her to reconnect with you, not because she's changed, but because she doesn't want to feel left behind. The more you embody confidence and exclusivity, the stronger this fear becomes. Section 3. Your glow-up. You became more attractive. Rejection often triggers something powerful in men, the fuel for transformation. Instead of dwelling on the past, many men use that energy to work on themselves, leveling up in ways that make them almost unrecognizable. Here's the secret. Women notice. When she rejected you, she might have seen you as just another guy, but now you're hitting the gym, dressing better, building your career, and walking with a confidence she never saw before. This glow-up isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional too. You've cultivated self-respect, discipline, and ambition, and these traits radiate outward. For the modern woman who is often bombarded with superficial qualities on social media, seeing a man genuinely improve himself stands out. It makes her question her initial judgment. Was I wrong about you? Did I overlook someone extraordinary? Section 4. Her options ran out. Let's be brutally honest. Many women overestimate their options. The modern dating world, fueled by swipes, likes, and instant gratification, creates the illusion that there's an endless pool of potential partners. But the reality is, most of those options are superficial and short-lived. When she rejected you, she likely felt confident that someone better would come along. But as time passed, those better options started to fade away. Maybe the men she chose were unreliable, uninterested in commitment, or simply not as impressive as they seemed. Now she's left looking back at the choices she made and realizing that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. This isn't just about you, it's about what you represent. Stability, ambition, kindness, and authenticity. In a world where many men chase attention or avoid responsibility, these qualities are rare. When her other options run out, you become a symbol of what she truly wants, but didn't appreciate before. This isn't to say that you're her last resort. It's to highlight the power of knowing your worth. By the time she realizes her mistake, you've already elevated yourself to a level where she has to earn her way back into your life. That's where the dynamic shifts entirely. Section 5. You stopped chasing her. There's nothing more powerful in the modern dating world than a man who stops chasing. Women are used to being pursued. It's almost expected in today's culture. But when you remove yourself from that equation, everything changes. When she first rejected you, she probably assumed you'd stick around, that you'd keep trying to win her over. But as time passed and you stopped calling, texting, or reacting to her social media, something shifted. Your absence became louder than your presence ever was. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing me anymore? Did I misjudge him? This curiosity quickly turns into intrigue, and intrigue leads to attraction. By walking away and focusing on yourself, you've disrupted her sense of control. You've shown her that you're not just another man seeking validation. You're a man who knows his worth. In a world where attention is currency, your indifference becomes your greatest asset. You're no longer trying to prove yourself to her. You're living your life on your terms. This shift in power is often what brings her back, even if she can't fully explain why. The truth is, women are drawn to men who value themselves, and by stepping back, you've proven that you don't need her validation to thrive. Section 6. Her ego needs validation. Here's an often overlooked reason why she might come back: her ego. Rejection isn't just hard for men, it's hard for women too, especially when they realize that the person they dismissed is no longer seeking their attention. For the modern woman, being pursued is a form of validation. It reinforces her sense of desirability and control. But when you stop chasing, it creates a void. She starts to question her own worth and wonders why you've moved on so easily. This is where her ego comes into play. Reaching out to you isn't always about rekindling a connection. It's often about testing the waters. She wants to see if she still has power over you, if she can still make you react. It's a way of reclaiming the control she feels she lost when you walked away. Understanding this dynamic is crucial because it allows you to respond with clarity and confidence. You're no longer the man at her mercy. You're the man who sets the terms. When her ego-driven attempts to reconnect are met with your calm indifference, it reinforces your value even more. Section 7. She sees you as a challenge. Now, one of the most interesting shifts in modern dating is how quickly the dynamic changes when a man becomes a challenge. When she rejected you, you may have been too available, too eager to please. But now, after focusing on yourself, you've become more distant, harder to reach, and less predictable. This change intrigues her. For the modern woman who is used to constant validation and attention, a man who doesn't conform to these norms becomes a puzzle. Why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem so content without me? These questions create a sense of curiosity that can quickly turn into attraction. This is where the psychology of scarcity comes into play. People value what is rare or hard to obtain. By stepping back and focusing on your own growth, you've made yourself a rare commodity. You're no longer the man who is always readily available. You've become someone who is harder to access, more valuable, and worth pursuing. Section 8. She's reminded of her own insecurities. Rejection often reveals more about the person rejecting than the one being rejected. When she said no to you, it might have been because she didn't feel ready, confident, or secure enough to handle a relationship with someone like you. Modern women face immense pressure to look perfect, be independent, and maintain an image of having it all together. Sometimes, rejecting a man isn't about his shortcomings, but about her own insecurities. Maybe she felt you were too good for her, or maybe she feared she couldn't meet your expectations. As she sees you thriving, her insecurities resurface. She begins to wonder, did I make a mistake? Am I good enough to win him back? These internal doubts can drive her to reconnect, not just because she wants you, but because she wants to prove to herself that she's capable of keeping someone of your caliber. Understanding this dynamic is crucial. When she comes back, it's important to recognize whether her motives are genuine or rooted in her own need for validation. Either way, the fact that she's returning speaks volumes about the impact you've had on her psyche. Section 9. The influence of her friends. Never underestimate the power of peer influence in a woman's decision-making process. Modern women often rely heavily on their social circle for advice and validation, especially when it comes to relationships. When she rejected you, it's possible her friends played a role in her decision. Maybe they told her you weren't her type, or encouraged her to keep her options open. But here's the twist. As her friends observe your success, your glow-up, and the way other women respond to you, their opinions start to shift. They might comment on how good you look now, or subtly suggest that she made a mistake. These small remarks can plant seeds of doubt in her mind. making her question her original decision. Her friend's influence doesn't stop there. In some cases, they might even encourage her to reach out to you, framing it as just seeing how you're doing. But make no mistake, this isn't casual. It's a calculated move influenced by the people she trusts. When a woman comes back into your life, it's often the result of multiple factors converging, and the opinions of her inner circle can be a powerful force. Section 10. She notices your detachment. Detachment is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. When a woman senses that you've emotionally detached from her, it creates a void that's hard for her to ignore. Detachment doesn't mean you're cold or indifferent. It means you've stopped tying your self-worth to her approval or presence. For the modern woman who is used to being the center of attention, this detachment is unsettling. She's accustomed to men vying for her affection, so when you stop, it forces her to confront the reality that you've moved on. This isn't about playing games. It's about showing her through your actions that your happiness and success are no longer tied to her. Detachment also signals emotional maturity. It shows that you're not bitter, resentful, or stuck in the past. Instead, you're focused on your goals, your growth, and your future. This calm confidence is incredibly attractive because it's rare. Most men struggle to let go of rejection, but by embracing detachment, you've set yourself apart. When she sees this shift, it challenges her perception of you. You're no longer the man who's easily available or predictable. You've become someone who's in control of his own destiny, and that kind of power is magnetic. That's why she might come back, but the choice is yours. Conclusion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.